On the College Voice, how are we dealing with all the emotions the pandemic has given us? And the spicy duo of Anna and Bella are trying to sweeten up your life by trying something spicy? You'll just have to wait and see.
And when will people catch a hint that body shaming is not okay? We discuss all of this and more as the College Voice starts right now. Hi everyone, welcome to the College Voice. I'm Bella and here's my Taste Test Tuesday partner Anna. And we have Alex and Alicia over in the control room. How is everyone feeling?
Looks like we're all feeling pretty pink.
That was unplanned, I promise, but we're all tickled pink.
Oh God. I guess I'm just glad that it's almost March, which means that it's almost spring.
Oh
'cause
yeah.
I'm over winter.
The sunshine this week has been nice, must say.
Yes.
Well, the global pandemic that has been wreaking its havoc through our world for the past year has affected everyone in various ways. It has not been an easy time for anyone, and I'd like to take the time and space here to give our hosts the opportunity to discuss their struggles during this time. So I'm wondering, what have you struggled with the most over quarantine in the coronavirus pandemic? And before we start, I want to give a disclaimer. We all know this has been a severe, serious, and crazy time, and we're not in any way trying to dismiss the severity of anything going on. But because this is something we're all going through that we could have never seen coming, and it's like this first moment in history, I thought it would be interesting to just talk about like our experiences during it and our greatest struggle. So I guess you want to start over in the control room with Alex and Alicia. How are you guys feeling? What are your struggles been?
Not so much anymore, but at first, this might sound dramatic, but like grieving my lost college years, because y'all miss college. I miss walking around the student center, like just having nothing to do, but like being around people, walking down the Esplanade with the wind. Like I miss that a lot. And just, like the fun of it all. Like we're not, I don't want to say never, but we're missing out on a lot of stuff that makes college so great.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, like, because I'm a senior, so I already know that I'm going to miss graduation the way that it was supposed to happen, I guess. Like, it's going to, even though, like, May is technically very far away, like, I have a feeling that I'm not going to get an in-person graduation, which kind of sucks because you really do think about, oh my God, like, I was here for 4 years, it was very difficult, and, like, I spent all this money, and now you kind of just are going to probably be sitting at home with people who you care about, so it's still great, but you're going to be sitting at home.
Across the stage.
Yeah, I don't get to, like, I'm just going to watch my name go across something and be like, I guess that's it.
Yeah, it's like
So it kinda
underwhelming.
sucks. Yeah, because especially it's something like walking across the stage and getting your diploma is something you think about since, like, elementary. Like,
Yeah.
and then to think that you're not going to get that even though you've thought about it like your entire life.
Yeah, no, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I was going to say like my biggest struggle has just been realizing that I've had more of an abnormal college experience than I've had a normal one. I'm a sophomore, so I started college in fall 2019, as did Anna. And so we had kind of like a semester, almost like a half or like a third of normal college, and then we're online. So it's sad. Like Alicia said, like I feel like I'm kind of grieving all the experiences that I'm kind of missing out on that I've been looking forward to for so many years, and always hearing like my parents' stories from when they were in college and like seeing, you know, those film photos of them like all having fun with their friends. It just like makes me feel really nostalgic for something that I didn't even get to experience but that I've been looking forward to for so long. So I feel the same way about that kind of being my biggest struggle and like having to swallow that pill of like things you're missing out on.
Yeah, especially like with these years, these are like supposed to be the best years of your life or whatever.
Yeah.
And like even seeing like Snapchat memories from last year with like a bunch of people and like you don't have masks on, you're like, oh my gosh, it feels like forever ago, and you just like miss those times, just being able, like you almost feel free, like I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like my biggest struggle has definitely been like what am I even doing here at this point? Like I have so many, like
if I would have known stuff was going to be online my freshman year, like, would I still be here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so just, like, thinking about all the different possibilities and stuff that, like, now I can't even change. I don't know. That's my biggest struggle.
It's definitely a hard pill to swallow. And I think another struggle everyone's been dealing with is just not being able to be around as many people. I mean, I'm blessed that my family kind of all lives in the same area, so I've been able to see them, but I recognize with people who have family, you know, all over the country or just all over the state, with all this social distancing and stuff, it's been really hard for people to see a lot of their loved ones and their friends and just have gatherings. So I think that's another big struggle that we're probably all feeling too. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I definitely have felt it.
Yeah, even just, like, being, like, surrounded with different friends. Like, I feel like I'm kind of seeing the same people, and the people that were just acquaintances last year, like, I feel like I'm never going to see them again just because of everything. So that kind of sucks. How have you guys dealt with the friendships?
Oh, that's been hard for me, I think. Specifically because I think I hoped that for my senior year, because I've been kind of one-track minded when it came to, like, school, where it's like, okay, I want to get good grades, I want to make sure that I'm a part of TV2 and, like, things that'll help me flourish once I graduate, that I didn't allow myself the time to, like, join clubs that, like, or, like, join, like, a dance team, or just join a club that I'm like, oh, this could be fun.
Just for fun.
And so, like, that was my plan for, like, senior year, was to do that and to do that kind of thing, and I didn't really get to, so it kind of made me think, like, oh, snap, like, I don't have the time that I used to.
Well, it's clear that we've all been affected by the pandemic in different ways, but now Anna and I are going to spice things up a bit with Taste Test Tuesday.
That's right. We are definitely going to spice things up this week, because this week we tried spicy jalapeno cotton candy. Keep watching to see if it's hot or not.
Taste Test Tuesday viewers, today we are back with spicy jalapeno cotton candy. I have no idea what to expect. Spicy cotton candy, like, this is one of the sweetest creations.
I don't know. I hope it tastes like jalapeno poppers because I like those.
Well, you like anything spicy. Anna doesn't.
I pretty much like anything we try. I'm expecting you to do one of your famous faces when something's too hot. But this will be interesting, you know. We have the combination of sweet and spicy that can be really, or no, sweet and salty that can be really good.
Salty?
Yeah, like sweet and salty things. But I'm saying, I wonder how sweet and spicy is gonna go.
Probably not good. Got a yellow-green tint to it. Smells like cotton candy. Nothing spicy. Do you smell spicy?
I don't think it smells like regular cotton candy. Like, it doesn't smell too sugary to me. It kind of smells like
the feeling of cotton. I hate it.
Oh my god, they come out like
layers. I kind of like
layers.
that.
That makes it easy for us.
Yeah.
I don't know. This kind of just smells like plastic to me.
Smells like cotton. Nothing hot. That's hot.
It definitely tickles your throat.
Woo! Took a second. It's hot.
It takes a second and then it gets the tickle.
At first I was about to say this has no flavor. That is hot. I was not expecting that at all. Well, I was expecting it, but when it touched my tongue, I was like, oh.
It's sweet at first. Like, when it touches your tongue, it's sweet, and then when it gets to your throat, it's spicy.
Yes, it's so spicy. Like, when it first touches my tongue, I was like, oh, this just tastes like flavorless cotton candy. And then all of a sudden, thought my tongue was red. And then all of a sudden, it just, like, starts getting hot.
It's just really weird, because I'll hold it on my tongue, and it'll taste sweet. But when it gets to my throat, it's spicy. Like, it's not spicy when you have it on your tongue. It's like really weird that happened.
It has the texture of normal cotton candy, nothing different about that, but it turns a little yellow when it gets a little moisture on it. I feel like this is definitely something you couldn't eat a lot of, though. Like,
no, I'm just trying to finish my little round here, but it's weird. It just got a little bit, like, spiciness up my nose.
Out of 10, I'd probably give it a 4 because it is as advertised. I just like don't like it. Why would I eat it?
I guess if I wanted something that was like sweet and spicy, like this is the perfect combination of both. Like you get just as much sweet as you do spicy. I will say though, it leaves a burn on your tongue and in your throat.
And
I
we've
feel that
only
right
eaten
now.
a half piece.
Yeah, literally half of a piece. So you better take it slow. I don't know what to rate it. I guess I will rate it a 5 out of 10.
Well, this cotton candy gets jalapeno senses. But we'll see you next week. Bye.
So we actually, good for you guys, we have the jalapeno cotton candy here for you to try live.
A
so
live
dig
taste
right
test.
All right, ladies first.
All
Go
right.
ahead. Yep.
Okay.
Let me know. Let me know.
Ain't cool,
Let
y'all.
me know.
It's nice because they're like
Oh.
their own little
Dang,
pads.
that's a lot.
Yeah, we ain't doing all
All
that.
right. You know, I like to smell my food first, you know. It smells good. It smells kind of good to me.
I don't know. It kind
We
of
gonna
reminds
see.
me of
We gonna see.
Pledge.
Ooh. All right. What do you think?
Oh! It's not like really, really spicy at all, but like it's kind of like it reminds me of the hot Cheetos spicy,
Whoa.
but it
Okay.
doesn't have but
Okay.
it doesn't have the cheese. Does that make sense? Like it does the same kind of coating.
This is kind of good.
I thought it was pretty hot.
think it's actually kinda
was
good.
shocked.
Yeah, you guys were kind of
This isn't-
apprehensive before trying that, but
Yeah,
Dry was like, this is
tastes
good.
Kinda, it tastes kind of good to me though.
You can have it.
Yeah,
Awful.
take it
I
all.
won't keep it, but
yeah.
I'll take some more for sure.
Take it
No,
all.
yeah, go ahead.
This isn't that spicy, I
That's a
don't
lot.
think.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm craving something spicy, I want to go to the hot Cheetos, not necessarily the spicy hot cotton candy.
This is weird.
Yeah, because this isn't like I think one of you guys said this in the video. Like this doesn't really taste like anything.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
said-
really
Nah.
just like
I
spice.
don't
At
agree.
first,
Oh,
it's
what do you think it tastes like?
Well, I mean, okay, so at first it doesn't taste like much, and then at the end, it's like you just like get kicked with the spice. But I kind of like that. It's just weird.
Oh no.
well.
Well, this jalapeno cotton candy is definitely odd and not my taste, but coming up after the break, Jiraiya is going to talk about new music collaborations and if they are our taste. So stick with us.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
Hello. With this being the end of Black History Month, I thought that it would be very appropriate to discuss some of our favorite black artists and music. Black music is definitely not all there is to offer when discussing black culture and history, but black artists and their music continue to play an enormous role in American culture today. With hip-hop being the most popular genre of music in America, it is impossible to deny the impact of black culture on American culture. So again, I'll pose the question, who is your favorite black artist in music today and why? Allie, who would you say?
Well, I feel like if I don't know this about me by now, then I must be doing something wrong. But Beyonce,
Okay, I knew you was going there. Okay,
she
why?
just, when we talk about artistry and really being able to do it all, nobody is doing what Beyonce, the girls are not giving.
Okay,
Beyonce
okay.
is
They're not
giving.
giving what they're supposed to have gave.
Exactly.
I feel you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, I went to a Beyonce concert, it was a few years ago now. But when I say she puts on a whole show,
Yeah.
like a whole show, she has the ballads, she has the songs to make you want to get up and dance. Like, she really just takes you on a whole journey.
I agree.
And the
For sure.
dancing, people cannot dance all full out like that with the vocals.
Yeah,
People
mm.
try to play like she don't be in her vocal bag,
No, you-
and she does. It's there.
No, you're definitely spot on because it's
Yeah.
like I've heard about how she's trained her vocals. It's like I think I heard something that's like she would run and sing,
Yeah.
and That's super tough. I mean, you could try it yourself and see how hard it is. It's honestly super hard, but I think that's what helps with the quality of her performances. But what about y'all? Who are your favorite Black artists today?
I just want to say something about the whole running thing, like, solely because like I did music before college and stuff, and my mom does music or just theater in general as like I almost said as a major, as a career. And so I think when like it's like all because it's all in your core. So the reason why she can do all those runs and it feels like she's not breathing is because she like did all that stuff. So like I literally like bowed down to Beyonce. For my favorite Black artist specifically, I don't know if I have one right now unless it's like old school. So like if we're talking about Motown, if we're talking like Diana Ross, Supremes, like I listen to the music constantly. I'm now like this past year I've been starting to get more into like current R&B and stuff just because like my mom like the music I grew up with was like Radio Disney and like musicals. So I never had like that kind of like guide into it. So I'm doing it myself now. And I really am loving her. Her. Oh my goodness! Because I knew that I liked like some of her music, but I started like listening to albums, and I was like, oh, this is like really good.
Top notch.
Mine is probably a little underrated. I think she's underrated. Alicia Keys.
Okay.
She's definitely not underrated.
Talk about it.
I just like don't think she gets the recognition she deserves. She stays out of like every like drama. Like she's never in the news for drama. She can sing literally anything.
You're right.
Like the Grammys performance of her on the double piano singing like all the hit songs.
That was cool.
Like that was crazy. I love that performance. I just think she isn't talked about enough, and
okay. I will say I love me some old. Like I'm a 2000s R&B connoisseur. If we talk about Alicia Keys right now, though,
no, exactly.
I'm
That's
not
what I was
gonna lie
gonna say.
to you, sis.
I was gonna say, I'm like her
You know
newest
what I'm
stuff, like
Am I
the whole
wrong,
like
though?
I think she only had one song that I really liked, which is like this isn't like it was on like an Amazon thing.
She got her flowers back in the day, for sure.
Right, like she did. I think because like, did you guys watch any of like the Versus stuff? Like she did like a Versus, and I was like, I only want to hear your old stuff.
Yeah, I definitely
don't play
prefer
no
her
new
old
Alicia
stuff.
Keys.
Right.
Well, the music industry is constantly changing, but you know something that has stayed the same? College tuition. Calvin Tyler was the first in his family to attend college, but had to drop out because he couldn't afford it. 60 years later, he just donated $20 million to that same university. He's doing the good work to ensure that many students have the opportunity to finish college without a financial burden. But my question is, should he have to? Yes, it's amazing that people like Calvin are helping those in need, but I think universities themselves should be doing more. What are y'all's thoughts? What do you think?
So do I think universities should be doing more to help their students?
Yeah.
Yeah, like all the time, because, you know, when I was first coming to Kent, looking at scholarships and stuff, it seemed like a lot of the scholarships were for athletes. And I'm like, athletes are such a small, even though they bring in a whole lot of money for the university, which I understand, I feel like that's such a small population of the actual student population. And it almost seems like other students, if you want to get help from the school that you're going to, you're not going to have the help, which is very, I feel like it's kind of unfair, and it's actually weird to me. How do you not help the other students that are coming to your school, but you only help the ones that are
making
athletes?
you money?
Exactly. So it's kind of funny, the message in that, you know. But what about y'all? What do you think? You think schools are doing enough?
The simple answer is like yes. I think colleges should be doing so much to help their students because the hard thing is I don't know all the behind the scenes processes that go into finances and like where all of our money's going and why it's so much. I don't know all of that, so I feel like I can't give a completely educated answer. But like just going off of my feeling, yeah, I think colleges should be doing way more to help their students because just looking at the cost of college is insane. Like, why all of that money for what? And especially now that school is virtual.
And they charge more?
It's like, how does that make sense?
Make it make sense.
So, like I said, the simple answer is yeah, I do think there should be way more. And I feel like there should be more scholarships that are easier to apply to because sometimes you get this scholarship that sounds super promising, but then it's like, oh, you need 5 letters of recommendation, you need to write 3 essays for this, you need to prove this, and that, which, I understand that's important for certain scholarships. Like you need to know that your money is going to someone who's, going to use it in the way that you intend it for, but I feel like there should be way more scholarship and finance opportunities that are just easier to access
Right.
because
And just
sometimes
for regular
the process,
people.
They
Yeah.
should, yeah. You shouldn't have to have something special or different about you to receive something. Why can't I just be an average person that's working hard? Why do I have to be good at something to get something? Like, I understand they want you to be hardworking and resilient and doing good at school here, but I shouldn't have to have another special thing on top of that. Like, I just think it's so, they make things so hard, you know?
Yeah.
And then at that point, I don't even want to try anymore.
Well, I
said-
feel
wait,
like you should kind of have some kind of, not specialty thing about you, but you should be able to show that you are. I think that there should be some things that just are not super hard to get, but I do think that there are others where it's like if it's more money, then you should have to, you know, meet certain requirements, which I understand.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I don't think that, like, Kent State, I did get some scholarships, of course, but when I literally came to the Kent State website to look at scholarships, I was like, dang, it's like 80% of it, if I'm not mistaken, last time I checked, was like athletes. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be an athlete, so you're telling me I won't get any help. And I thought that was super unfair.
I mean, athletes should definitely get something because they do bring money into the schools. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't get
Right.
scholarships because that also helps them decide where they want to go. But I still think the average student should have just as good of a chance.
yeah, just going back to my point about just having more accessibility for maybe smaller scholarships, just that, like that just anyone can get.
Okay.
Yeah. To what Anna said, I do think that there should be more opportunities for people who don't necessarily super excel in one area to still receive financial help because they still need it.
Right.
Like I remember when I was looking at scholarships, like I'm not gonna cap, I'm a great student, but I was looking at scholarships. It was like, oh, you have to live in this county to receive this. You have to be a part of this college to receive this. And what about me? What about things that apply to my life? Like, I'm really doing all I can do, and y'all telling me y'all can't really do nothing for me.
Yeah,
That shouldn't be the case.
It's discouraging.
So it's just my hope that this will change in the future. And something I also hope changes is the policing of women's bodies. We'll get into that after the break.
Adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
If you're on TikTok, then you're probably familiar with the Bus It Challenge. If not, it's basically someone that spends their first few seconds relaxed and in pajamas, a bonnet maybe, and then the sound drops and they bust it down to the ground with a total makeover. Chloe, one of the two sisters of the duo Chloe x Halle, decided to participate in this fun challenge. However, she posted on social media and got a ton of backlash on body shaming her and telling her that it was inappropriate for her to participate in this. So my question is, why do people feel the need to put their input or opinions on what someone else does with their own body, especially for women, specifically black women? Because we're gonna talk about it, I think.
For me, I don't know if I just follow the right people, but I didn't see any backlash from Chloe, but I did see a lot of people defending her. So I can speak to that. And yeah, I didn't see like anything that somebody said negatively, but I will say I did see a lot of like men in a joking manner, like joking about how they fast forward like the busted section just to get into the booty. And it was like all jokes, but like you see who are the people who are intaking this type of content. And so I think that's a subject all in itself. But I see more of like body shaming on like a local level and like a personal life level. Like with girls in my personal life, it's like, oh, why is she doing all that? She's trying to impress somebody, but why can't she just do that? Because that's what she wants. She wants to respect herself in that way. It's her body. Like the world would be such a better place if people just focus on them and themselves and stop being in other people's business, I think.
What do you guys think of the control room?
I feel like it all goes back to like the societal norms that have been in place for so long and that are made even worse by social media. I feel like as a woman, I'm constantly seeing pictures of other women, whether they're in my life or they're celebrities, and just subconsciously, you know, you compare certain things about yourself to them, like, oh, you know, my waist doesn't look like that, my lips aren't as full as like hers are. So it makes you question your own worth, which is terrible. But going back to this, I feel like some people feel the need to outwardly body shame because of that insecurity. And it's like, oh, you know, I don't like that you feel comfortable in your skin, so, and I don't, so let me attack you for it. And it's so wrong, and it literally just adds to this toxic societal norm that we have, where we can't just love and accept our own bodies. It's so hard. And when I catch myself comparing myself to other people, you know, I never ever want or intend to body shame anyone, but that comparison does happen in my head subconsciously, and I'm trying to catch myself, like, I can exist as a beautiful and worthy human, and she can exist as a beautiful and worthy human, and it doesn't lessen my worth or her worth at all. So I feel like we need to get that. We need to get that in our brains.
Yes, I totally agree. Like, I didn't really see a whole lot of people body shaming, but the fact that whatever body shaming was said really got to her and affected her like that, because I definitely see her as a confident woman. I think in her music you can kind of see her like that. But when she was breaking down and was crying about it, I was like, wow. The power of social media, even for those that are celebrities, of course, I thought that was just very interesting. And it's sad. I don't, like, when I see her, of course, you know, I'm a man, the Busted Challenge, I think she's very beautiful, all that, right? So I'm like, she looks great. And then to see that she does things like that for herself and to help build up her own confidence, and to see people break that down, I definitely think that some people were trying to do that because they are insecure, which is very unfortunate, because if you see someone else that is very secure, very confident, I would think you would want traits that are similar to that, if not the same thing. And then to break that person down so they feel like you, it really goes to show that misery loves company. It's very sad, but I really feel for her, because body shaming is definitely a thing. I feel like I see it more for women. I see it for men, but not nearly in the same way, because I see beauty influencers everywhere on Instagram. So if somebody has a snatched waist or whatever, it's like, if you don't have that, then you're not up to par, when that's not the case. Everyone is beautiful in their own skin, because everyone's gonna look different.
I have a question though. So was it like mostly women who were body shaming Chloe?
It was a lot of men, I think, as well. Like, it was women, but there were a lot of men.
And what were the men saying exactly?
Kind of just like, oh, like, people were assuming that, first of all, that she was like a child star, and like kind of like how like
she's
Disney
not a whole
stars.
grown woman.
She's older
Exactly.
than us.
And
She's
that's the
older than
thing.
us.
She's in her 20s. So like she's an adult. She's allowed to do that kind of thing. And I think people forget the fact that body positivity and loving yourself and being comfortable in your body means a multitude of different things. For some people, that means wearing a crop top. For others, that means wearing a long sleeve tee, and they're perfectly fine in it. There are different cultures that say that they need to cover their hair. That's positivity for them. There are people who say, oh no, I don't want to do that, but I'm still going to practice this religion. That's positivity for them. So it just made me upset, because she did cry and she was upset. And I've seen that in my real life, like you said, locally, that it's like, oh, well, why is she doing that? Why is she wearing all those lashes? Why are her nails so long? What is she who is she trying to impress? Maybe she's trying to impress herself. Yeah. Maybe she's trying to look at herself in the mirror and like what she sees. Excuse me, so sorry. And like what she sees. And isn't that what everyone should be able to do? Like, you should be able to look into the mirror and like what you see. And if that means putting on some makeup, or if that means not putting on makeup, or if that means doing the Busted Challenge or deciding not to because you're not comfortable with it, that's nobody else's business but your own. And yes, she posted it on social media, so technically freedom of speech, but that doesn't mean that your freedom of having some consequences of me coming for you in the comments, because I will.
Period. I feel you for sure.
Well, that's all we have today. Follow us on Instagram at @thecollegevoice_KSU for more content, and subscribe to us on YouTube at The College Voice, where you can catch up on all of our past episodes. See you guys next week.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.